On December the 11th, 1941, Adolf Hitler stood before the German Reichstag. 4 days had passed since Japan had launched a devastating assault on Pearl Harbor and unleashed a series of attacks against American and British possessions across Asia. Japan was now at war with the British Empire and United States. For the other Axis powers, Germany and Italy, much remained unresolved. The Asian and European conflicts were not yet fully conjoined. The United States was a belligerent in the former, but not formally in the latter. The tripartite pact between Germany, Italy, and Japan committed each to go to the other's aid if they were attacked. But as other world powers were aware, the pact required nothing if they were the aggressor. Hours turned to days as the world waited to see how Hitler would respond. When Hitler began to speak, no one outside of his closest confidants could be certain exactly what he would say or what the consequences would be. After a ramble across the different war fronts, the Führer arrived at America. He began by declaring that there was no reason why Germany and the United States, who were racially akin and who had no clashing national interests, should be at odds. Despite this, he claimed, Washington had launched an unprovoked attack on the German Reich in 1917 and was now preparing to do the same again. Hitler argued that the US president during that first conflict, Woodrow Wilson, had been driven by a group of interested financiers who hoped for increased business. The misery that the German people had suffered after defeat in the First World War was primarily the responsibility of Wilson and this shadowy clique. Although Hitler did not discuss it on this occasion, that cataclysm had been the decisive turning point in his life, and his first encounter with Americans on the battlefield had indelibly shaped his worldview. As open hostilities again loomed with the United States, Hitler lamented to the Reichstag, "Why is there now another president of the USA who regards it as his only task to intensify anti-German feeling to the pitch of war?" For Hitler, the answer was simple. It was a fact that the two conflicts between Germany and the USA were inspired by the same force and caused by two men in the USA, Wilson and Roosevelt. The force to which Hitler alluded was Jewish international finance, which he claimed was once more at work, manipulating the incumbent president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, to follow in Wilson's footsteps. Although the Wilhelminer Reich had awaited the blow passively, Hitler vowed to strike first, announcing the start of open hostilities against the United States. Only now would the war become a world war.